Have you ever watched Luka Modric in a high-stakes game and just wondered, how does he stay so calm while everyone else is panicking? Well, the psychology behind it is actually pretty surprising, and believe it or not, it's something anyone can learn. Okay, so let's just dive right into this. On one side, you've got panic. You know the feeling. Your heart's racing, your vision narrows, and all you can think about is, don't mess up. But on the other side, you have the composure of a champion, like Modric, total awareness, controlled breathing, and just a laser focus on the task at hand. So what's the secret? What's the real difference between these two states? Well, the first thing you have to get is that for elite athletes, the physical battle is really only half the story. Sports psychology shows us that what separates the absolute best from the rest, it's not just their footwork, it's their brain work. The real game is always played in the mind. And this brings us to a concept that sports psychologists are obsessed with: mental toughness. Now, this isn't about being aggressive or having some kind of killer instinct. It's really about reliability. It's about being able to show up and play at your best, no matter what the scoreboard says, how loud the crowd is, or how much pressure is on. So, what's the first big piece of the puzzle to Modric's composure? Well, it all starts with how he sees the world, especially when the pressure is cranked all the way up. See, for most of us, a high-stakes moment feels like a threat. Our brain focuses on what could go wrong. But elite performers, they do something called cognitive reframing. They see that same moment as a challenge, an opportunity to test their skills. And that simple mental shift, it changes absolutely everything, from your body's chemistry to your decision-making. But look, a strong mindset is one thing. It needs a solid foundation to stand on. And that brings us to the second secret. His calm reactions aren't just improvised in the moment. They're built, they're earned. His former coach, the legendary Carlo Ancelotti, really hits on a key trait here, that relentless dedication. And this isn't just about being physically fit. We're talking about thousands and thousands of hours in training that make incredibly complex actions feel simple, almost automatic. This frees up his mind to focus on strategy, not the basic mechanics, even when the chaos is swirling around him. And check this out. This is a perfect example. This deep experience gives him an almost predictive understanding of the game. He saw the patterns in his own teammates' behavior so clearly that he could literally call the shot from the bench. That isn't magic, you know? That is mastery, and it's born from endless repetition. Okay, so you've reframed the pressure as a challenge, and you've put in the work. But what do you actually do in the heat of the moment, when your heart starts pounding? This brings us to the third reveal, the mental toolkit you can pull out on the spot. One of the most powerful tools out there is actually simple breath control. When we get tense, our breathing gets all short and shallow. A technique like box breathing basically acts as a physical reset button. It helps regulate your nervous system, slows down that racing heart, and clears your mind almost instantly. And you can see here, it's not just one trick. Athletes use a whole suite of these mental tools. They use imagery to rehearse successful plays in their mind's eye. They use positive self-talk, little key phrases like "stay loose" to guide their actions. And they even use physical cues, like adjusting their jersey, just to recenter their focus. And now we're at our fourth and final reveal. And honestly, this might be the most important piece of the entire puzzle. It's all about what happens after a mistake. Because let's be real, in a 90-minute game, mistakes are going to happen. So here's the crucial point. Champions do not dwell on their errors. They have the skill that psychologists call emotional regulation, or resiliency. It's the ability to detach from the mistake, hit the reset button, and get right back in the game in an instant. They don't let one bad play become two. So let's bring this all together. As you can see, these so-called secrets to Modric's calm aren't some innate gift he was born with. They are a learnable set of skills that, when put together, form a really powerful mental playbook. It all starts with perception. That's reframing pressure as a challenge. Then comes the preparation, building that automaticity through relentless practice. In the game itself, you use your mental toolkit with techniques like breathing. And finally, you build up that resilience by regulating your emotions so you can bounce back from anything. You know, this playbook isn't just for football. It's for a big presentation at work, a tough conversation you need to have, really any high-pressure situation in life. The real takeaway here is that you have the power to train your mind to change how you respond to pressure. So if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments. We'd really love to hear what topics you want us to explain next.